Guess we are not used to the fresh air in our lungs. But hello, and welcome to the first episode in the outside. It feels very weird, but now that we are not in the cave, we are, well, yeah, the possibilities are endless. Yeah, we might end up building a ton of weird stuff, but the first thing that we're going to do is actually give a look to the outside of our cave. So the first thing that I notice is there's definitely a jungle biome over there. Oh, and there's something that I haven't been able to do. Hello there, Mr. Pig. Hello there, Mr. Sheep. And all the animals in the realm. But yeah, we do have a jungle biome over here, which is very interesting because it's one of the few types of wood that we didn't have. Then on this side over here, but yeah, more of the sparse jungle. And if we go to the other side of the mountain that we do have our cave under, well, we have a little bit of savanna. I don't think it goes that far, to be fair. And over there, ooh, what's that? And you got nothing. Wait. Those are propagules. I do want that. Wait. Right, so keeping it going with the tour, the outside of the cave. There is the cave. And here we have a pretty nice beach with, yeah, a ton of signs of Enderman being around, like that block of dirt over there, but a nice sort of cliffside. Some horsies. Let's give them the proper welcome. Hello there, Mr. Horse. And on this side, we do have this big river with all the cliffs, like, yeah, this mountain. That looks awesome. So yeah, plenty of potential for everything that we would like to build, but yeah, we're not going to go that far away from the cave. We still want to, be sort of close to it. And, ooh, that's the other type of wood that we didn't have. That dark oak. So very, very promising. This, yeah, the area that we have. I would like to have a desert, and I would like to have, those sort of gravelly mount. Okay. That is potentially deadly. So we are going to ignore it for the time being. But when the time comes, we could set it on fire. And, it's going to save that idea of building a mansion. I think that we might get closer to the jungle, or that sparse jungle. Yeah, this flat bit. And settling over here. Yep, close to our cave, but not as close as we are not building anything new. So I think that we might settle in this area. And the first thing that we're going to be working on is that first, well, the new base, well, the new house. So let's jump into a sort of quick time lapse to at least get the foundations of this thing. Nope. Perfect landing. Yes, I do have an outline of what I would like to have. So I think this over here, well, we're going to have, circle means tower. So a tower for the entrance that is going to be sort of in this diagonal over here. So I have to work that one out. But then having the main hall in this big one, so having 2 floors over there, a small room on the left-hand side to use, well, to break a little bit of the space that we would have with this massive long wall. Then a little garden over here, then a fishing area over here. Then I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the height in this area, but then one small hallway, I would say, for storage. Then on the other side, I think we could get that greenhouse that we mentioned. Just getting ready for the, for the rest of the stuff that we have planned for this area. And then a bridge over here. I'm thinking about one of those sort of bridges in Venice, and then having a small port in the middle. So I reckon we're going to start with the big room, because I have a sort of palette in mind, and for that we're going to need a little bit of what's behind the fog and a little bit of what we are going to be putting in there. That is one of the things that I didn't miss being in the cave. All the annoyance of those guys coming over here, but we are at a point where we can, if I'm able to stick this landing, and I can't, well, close enough, but we have made it this far. And I'm very happy with, well, at least the shape that we've talked about. I am very happy with what we have done so far. Actually, that gradient over there, that we'll have a closer look in a second, but very happy with the sort of structure. What I'm not sure is about the height of that second floor and what am I going to do, especially with the windows. But the inside is, well, yeah, the inside, I'm really happy with the sort of columns that we came up with, and let's give them a closer look. And boom. These are the arches that we have that we have worked out in the smaller bits. In this arch over here, I'm actually very happy with just highlighting that window. And then this roof over here, I actually didn't know exactly what to do, so I just said, well, screw it, we're going to close it with acacia and copper. When we walk in, we have this sort of big hole over here. Very happy with, well, yeah, with the same columns that we have done, but going forward and backward, and the inside itself that we're going to have sort of separate levels. But yeah, very happy with how it's all coming together. We're going to keep on putting some work on it and yeah, see how far we can make it. But at least, that's still a pretty weird sight, but at least, yeah, I would like to get this main hall done for this episode, and actually sleeping to make sure that no mobs spawn. There we go. Alright, so a little bit of an update. We have made those windows smaller, and, well, we sort of started working on those columns that are going to lead to the small port, and we put the frame of the big roof. And if you remember one of the first episodes, one of the reasons why we lived in a cave, it's because I suck at making roofs. So bear with me with this one, because it's going to take a while, and I don't know exactly how it's going to look, and it might actually look, better now than when it's done, but let's keep it going. Well, remember when I said that I suck at making roofs? Well, that is exactly what I meant, because I really like how the palette sort of blends in. It's, yeah, sort of the same as the other ceiling, but with a little bit less brightness to it. But yeah, it looks way too blocky. It looks like, two separate lobes rather than one big, sort of continuous thing. So we're going to scrap all of that and do it again. So we made some progress on the roof. I don't know if it's better, but I think it's going to stay like this. We ended up putting, well, more than removing the whole thing, we ended up just adding a ton of detail with stairs and slabs and having a little bit of the roof hanging outside. I think that adds a little bit of detail and, makes it a little bit more complete. It is going to be a nightmare to just get to get all of it lit up, but at least we have a roof over our heads. The other thing that we have sort of finished, there's also something missing over there. I had nothing to do with it. And as the sun is falling, we can give a look to this big room, because this is going to be sort of the cooking, well, the kitchen / cooking bit, and it's going to connect with a bar to this small garden that then is going to connect to the big hall. So very happy with the progress. Actually, I'm not 100% sure about this link between those two sections, but it's not that big a deal if we need to remove the whole thing. So let's skip the night again and try to finish the roof of the ceiling that I would say should be somewhat similar to the big one that we have over here. And I'm going to take this as proof that if you suck at something, just practice and you will get, I don't know if better is the word, but at least you will be able to reproduce the same garbage that you have been doing for the past 2 hours, because this has been sort of a tedious process, but we are done with the roof of the extension, so to speak. So let's give it a look actually from the other side, because I think, it's going to be a nice look from, well, at least not from here, because we can only see one side. But yeah, I think it's, it's complemented, so to speak. I think it looks nice. And from the inside, it's a little bit of the same. But actually, one of the good things about these sort of, holding bits is actually that we can hang a ton of chandeliers from this, and it's going to look awesome. So at this point, we're actually going to start putting a little bit of work on the inside of the two main areas. So let's go. All right, I know we said we were going to stick to the inside, but I couldn't resist it, and we have done a ton of progress, and you can tell from the amount of time that the copper has had to endure. But I'm very happy with the first big section of the new base. Actually, we're going to go bit by bit, because we have worked on the inside, we have finished the tower, we have put some details that weren't there, and we're going to give a look to all of them. But let's go one by one. So, starting with the front, well, you can tell that the copper has aged, but we have finished the tower. I'm actually very happy with the detail of those mangrove windows. That actually, I don't think I'm going to use glass at all for the windows, just because I'm able to fly out of them. But we have also put a ton of detail on the tower. I have no idea what am I going to do with the top bit, because it looks like a great place to fly out of the base, but I have no idea what else to put in there. I am definitely going to have to wax all of the copper that we have put, just to make sure that it doesn't turn all blue. And I really, really like that darker detail at the top. And I liked it so much that I put it on this corner, and I'm actually considering putting it everywhere. That is going to take some time. It is something that I'll have to think about. Leave a comment and tell me what you think about that sort of detail. And let's give a look to the rest. So let's start with the tower from the inside. At the very bottom, while having this sort of spiral staircase, we're going to have the enchantment set up. I just have to place the enchantment table and make sure that it has all of the libraries necessary. And if we go up and up and up and up, looks like a lot of up, but it's actually not that much. And here we have the upper bit of the tower that, as I said, I have no idea what to do with it, but it is a great view of what we are aiming to, fill as the rest of our base. It is a great place to sleep, looking at the sun setting, and it's also a great place to check all of the roofs that we have made and how we mop-roofed all of them. For some weird reason, it's easier to spot the lichen without the zoom, but when you zoom in, it's a little bit harder to spot. But yeah, really nice view of, for example, well, what will be the docks, what will be the outside, the mountain itself, where we have our cave. But yeah, I have no clue of what to put up here. So let's give a look to actually the main hall. And the main hall, in the end, I had a couple ideas. One of them was putting a massive fireplace in the middle. The other one was putting a massive table in the middle. So I ended up going for both. So we do have two big tables over here for all the people that I'm going to be able to have lunch with. Fireplace to keep us warm. And this section over here that actually took almost all of the wool that we had, because all of the wool had to come from actually spider webs. Yeah, it took a ton of time. It took a ton of red dye that at least we got from the iron farm. But very happy with this curtain separating the main hall and this area over here with a little bit of a drinking area and the first of the shelves with all the candles and details. The details that took some time to get, for example, that mangrove over there. But let's give a look to the rest of the big room, because we do have some detail upstairs as well. And here comes the good shelf. I really, really like how this came about with everything that we took from the dragon, a couple candles, and some greenery, and paintings. It's in the end, if you're not able to put a window, just drop a painting in it, and this view over here with all the axolotls just roaming around, and the many types of boats that we're going to have over here eventually. The other bit that I want to highlight is, in the end, the frames that we have for the roof, because I really like how it ended up looking with all the birch fences, but all of the chains hanging from there. And in the end, the original plan was to put the lanterns hanging from them, but in the end, I think that I was able to fit all of the lights hanging from something else. So yeah, whatever we hang from here is going to be mostly for show rather than for lighting. So we're going to wait some time until we have all of the fancy stuff to be able to, decorate the inside of the roof. And finally, the dining room, where, well, the roof, as we said, is very similar to what we had. In this case, actually, we had to hang some lanterns from those chains, but yeah, we are very optimistic about the amount of people that we're going to have sitting around having dinner, because I have, way too much sitting area in this space. But I'm very happy with actually the breaking down this room in sort of two sections. One of the, one at, the same level as the big one, and then having this higher one that is going to connect with the first hallway that is going to come this way with all of the storage, that machine to make bone meal. And behind this bar, I wanted to have, well, a couple of villagers to sell me some food, just to be able to have food in this place. And behind this door, the cellar. I'm very happy with the feeling that I got from this. I am not sure about these vents over here, because in the end they bring in a little bit too much light, because the only light should be coming from those candles and keeping all of this sort of dark but mob proof. That was the goal in the end. But this is going to be where we put, well, a very special thing that is going to go under that hallway that we mentioned. But yeah, looking at it from this side as well, I am very happy with how all of this is coming together. We're going to need a ton of wax to make sure that this stays the same, but that is going to be all the time that we have for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions or any thoughts, for example, on, wow, rude. So if you have any suggestions or any comments on, for example, that dark gradient that we had at the top, if we should put it in the rest of the base, drop a comment, drop a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya!